During the passage of time, which took place during the 1940s through to the 60s, the world's superpowers had set their sights higher. In fact, they had set them to the stars, more specifically the galaxy above. There have been many tales that emerged from the moment in history known as the space race, but one of the most important of them all is no doubt Operation Paperclip, the secret recruitment. Operation Paperclip was a secret program of the Joint Intelligence Objectives Agency, or the JIOA for short, largely carried out by special agents of Army Counterintelligence Corps, known as the CIC, in which more than 1,600 German scientists, engineers and technicians, such as Wernher von Braun and his V2 rocket team, were taken from Germany to America for US government employment, primarily between 1945 and 1959. Many were former members and some were former leaders of the Nazi Party. The primary purpose for Operation Paperclip was US military advantage in the Soviet-American Cold War and the space race. Werner Magnus Maximilian Freiherr von Braun was born on March 23, 1912, and died on June 16, 1977. Von Braun was a German and later American aerospace engineer and space architect. He would become an integral part of Operation Paperclip, as he was also the leading figure in the development of rocket technology in Germany, and a pioneer of rocket technology and space science in the United States. While in his 20s and early 30s, von Braun worked in Nazi Germany's rocket development program. He helped design and develop the V2 rocket in Peenemünde during World War II. Following the war, he was secretly moved to the United States along with about 1,600 other German scientists, engineers and technicians as part of Operation Paperclip. He worked for the United States Army on an Intermediate-Range Ballistic Missile (IRBM) program, and he developed the rockets that launched the United States' first space satellite, Explorer 1. His group was assimilated into NASA, where he served as director of the newly formed Marshall Space Flight Center and as the chief architect of the Saturn V super heavy-lift launch vehicle that propelled the Apollo spacecraft to the Moon. In 1967, von Braun was inducted into the National Academy of Engineering, and in 1975, he received the National Medal of Science. He advocated a human mission to Mars. Wernher von Braun was born on March 23, 1912, in the small town of Wrześniów in the Posen province, in what was then the German Empire and is now Poland. He was the second of 3 sons. He belonged to a noble Lutheran family, and from birth he held the title of Freiherr, equivalent to Baron. The German nobility's legal privileges were abolished in 1919, although noble titles could still be used as part of the family name. His father, Magnus Freiherr von Braun, was a civil servant and conservative politician. He served as Minister of Agriculture in the federal government during the Weimar Republic. His mother, Emmy von Quistorp, traced her ancestry through both parents to medieval European royalty and was a descendant of Philip III of France, Valdemar I of Denmark, Robert III of Scotland, and Edward III of England. Werner had an older brother, the West German diplomat Sigismund von Braun, who served as Secretary of State in the Foreign Office in the 1970s, and a younger brother, also named Magnus von Braun, who was a rocket scientist and later a senior executive with Chrysler. After Werner's confirmation, his mother gave him a telescope, and he developed a passion for astronomy. The family moved to Berlin in 1915, where his father worked at the Ministry of the Interior. Here in 1924, the 12-year-old Werner, inspired by speed records established by Max Valier and Fritz von Opel in rocket-propelled cars, caused a major disruption in a crowded street by detonating a toy wagon to which he had attached fireworks. He was taken into custody by the local police until his father came to get him. Werner learned to play both the cello and the piano at an early age, and at one time wanted to become a composer. He took lessons from the composer Paul Hindemith. The few pieces of Werner's youthful compositions that exist are reminiscent of Hindemith's style. He could play piano pieces of Beethoven and Bach from memory. Beginning in 1925, Werner attended a boarding school at Ettersberg Castle near Weimar, where he did not do well in physics and mathematics. There he acquired a copy of By Rocket into Planetary Space, Die Rakete zu den Planeten Räumen, 1923, by rocket pioneer Hermann Oberth. In 1928, his parents moved him to the Hermann Lietz Internat, also a residential school, on the East Frisian North Sea island of Spiekeroog. Space travel had always fascinated Werner, and from then on he applied himself to physics and mathematics to pursue his interest in rocket engineering. In 1930, von Braun attended the Technische Hochschule Berlin, where he joined the space